And here we go. Awesome. So we are live streaming and we are on Facebook. So welcome everyone to tonight's session. I will keep my eye on the Zoom waiting room because I know there's a bunch more people going to be climbing on. So I love Friday nights. They're so much fun because we get to actually take a quick moment, and I like to essentially start with going over a little bit of an astrological forecast per se, where I take a few moments and just kind of give us the forecast of what's been happening. There's been some really big events that can go on in the skies that really affect us as humans and as a collective. And so I watch the patterns that are going on with my clients. I look at all of the sort of astrological previews and things that are going on with the different planets and why, and give a little explanation as to some of the emotions that arise and some of the things and the patterns that you might be seeing as well. And it's really interesting because there is clearly a big shift going on. There's a lot of really big events happening where we had a 12-12 portal happen just a couple days ago. And I find 12s very synchronistic, because when you look at 12s, for example, our hours sort of are marked by 12s. It's the separation in the day. It's the amount of astrological science out there. It's the amount of months. It's very cyclical as far as calendars. And so a lot of people follow certain types of calendars. And so you see after Thanksgiving, there's a little bit of an influx of energy. But astrologically, what's going on right now, it's almost like being able to kind of make some sense out of things. I find oftentimes, even when I explain to my kids, so we had a new moon and a 12-12 portal and a big meteor shower all at the same time. And so energies were a little intense. People were feeling emotions in very strong ways. And this particular period that we just kind of went through, there was a lot of what we would call shadow work. There was a lot of things coming up and being worked through. And some of that is because we have planets in retrograde. And right now we have 4 planets that are in retrograde still. We have Mercury. One of my clients messaged me today. I think she had seen it on TikTok or something, where they were like, is this Mercury microwave ending? Are things going to start calming down soon? I need to know this information. And Mercury retrograde, we're going to be in it basically until the new year, right until January 1st, January 2nd. And it's not a scary thing. It's just Mercury retrograde can be kind of revealing about how we communicate with others, how we speak to others. We may have felt this week as though we were kind of talking to a brick wall, like we just weren't being heard. And so what I find Mercury retrograde brings us is an opportunity to be heard, an opportunity to pay attention to those things that we are saying to others, those conversations we are having with ourselves, about ourselves, how we're maybe even judging others, our text that we're putting out to people. What kind of vibration does it have? What kind of intention does it have? It's been sort of showing us some long-standing misunderstandings. It's been able to give us the ability to see things on a little bit of a different plane as far as communication goes. It gives us an opportunity as well to sort of double check some of our things that we are experiencing, like with travel plans, for example. It gives us an opportunity to look at, are we making sure that we're going to catch that flight at the right time? Are we making sure that our reservation is actually confirmed? Helps us to, hey, Heather, welcome. I'll let you guys in the waiting room. Welcome. I'll throw you guys on mute just for now so that there's no background noise. And welcome, Julie. So nice to have you in here. Just talking about some of the retrogrades we're having. I'm sure you guys know about Mercury retrograde going on. So when that comes in, when we're actually experiencing this, it just really gives us a chance to look at a really detailed approach at all communications, whether it be emails or, throw in that little smile emoji, because the text doesn't often have a tone. And if you're ever going to be misunderstood, it can tend to be at this time. So it's good to pay attention to that. Then we have Chiron, the planet Chiron, which is also in retrograde. And that is that planet that likes to bring us into the past and bring some of the past up. So it helps us to recognize and release some old patterns, especially from childhood and from a long, long time ago. It helps us to sort of heal some of these limiting beliefs, helps us have some empowered thoughts, and helps us to kind of take some of these empowered habits. And that's what we're going to talk about in this week's kind of forecast, is taking some of these actions and orientations to help us really reevaluate our self-worth and to truly actually really love who we are, to allow that to come through a little bit. We're being influenced to have some self-love right now. So it's like, this is the influence. Let's jump on in there. And welcome to my other Heather. Welcome. Nice to see you guys tonight. So I am live streaming on Facebook. If you guys didn't catch the first part and you want to, by all means, you can catch the replay on there, or I can send it to you as well. I'm just kind of skirting around some of these, some of these planetary retrogrades that we're experiencing right now, just talking about Chiron, of course, and Mercury. We have Uranus, who is in retrograde as well until the end of January. Chiron is until Boxing Day. So just after Christmas, we're sort of brought into that past stuff still that we're getting ready to let go of. But it's beautiful right now. We have solstice coming up next week with a full moon following on the 26th. So it's like this last bit of balance that's about to occur in these last couple weeks of December as we come into this beautiful year of 2024. It's what we call an 8 year, where balance and discipline are sort of at a really equal kind of a flow, where we don't feel like we really want something, but it's just not happening. Or it's like these next couple weeks are really exciting as far as some opportunities coming to us by the end of next week, some beautiful opportunities that will just kind of show up in our fields, which is a nice welcome to change and a little bit of almost needed change, right? Needed to be able to actually create this balanced life that we're really moving towards. So, and welcome, Jeffrey. Glad to have you guys all in here tonight. So Uranus is in retrograde until the end of January. This planet basically is helping us to apply that independence, to understand our abilities, to trust in our abilities. And this last year has been all about our soul's journey. And whoops, I'm just going to, that's okay, no worries. I don't know how to get out of there. There we go. Got it figured out. Thanks. And learning who our authentic self really is, when we feel authentic, it's easier to get into the flow of who we really are and why we're really here. And I think for a lot of us, we're getting to that point in our journey right now where we understanding. We're just going to get rid of somebody here. There we go. Perfect. Sometimes we get some exciting souls in here ready to shake things up. So I'm just going to close that out. It's not even a full moon yet. Usually that doesn't happen until next week, but here we are. It's too fun. So it kind of, with Uranus in retrograde, it gives us a little bit of a chance to kind of reflect, to go inside, to remember who we really are, and to actually find that courage to branch out into our true selves, into our true purpose. It helps us to become a little bit more adaptable. So, maybe how we normally react to things, we're finding ways and we're seeing ways. I find, especially in this last couple of weeks, we're seeing ways that perhaps brought us way back into the past, where we might have even been behaving in ways that I was using the word that we're almost embarrassed of when I was doing my group on Wednesday. It's like the emotions were coming up so strong. We were kind of having, some people were finding that they were having some little temper tantrum kind of moments where they were just like, that was a part of me that I don't even know where it came from, but the emotions were just kind of so strong. We get this clarity on who we really are and what doesn't feel right. And when it feels that way, and when we get that lesson, instead of actually jumping in on that train and having that temper tantrum and then having to go back and apologize, we can actually really learn from that. And so this clarity that we've been seeing, especially around our emotions, has been a real teacher from Uranus being in retrograde. And it's been since the end of August. So it's been showing us in a lot of different ways how we can kind of be a little bit more fluid to change, how we can be a little bit more adaptable, how we can kind of see it and change it, versus getting carried away and having the emotion sort of take us down on a downward spiral. We can kind of be that predominant creative force in our life, and literally kind of shifting our reality by not being attached to who that was or what that was, but seeing it for kind of the lesson that it was, and that we really don't, that really doesn't feel like a true part of us, right? It really doesn't feel like that's how we want to end up being. We've been really getting some of that clarity. And good evening, Samara, welcome. So these planetary retrogrades can be really powerful if you know what they're doing and sort of why we're feeling the ways that we are. The last one that's in retrograde still until the end of December as well. So you'll see at the end of December, a lot of things are going to shift energetically. But with Jupiter in retrograde, it's a lot about like entrepreneurs. You've probably even seen or noticed a lot of people that are kind of finding their own way. They're thinking, geez, I don't have to do this regular type job anymore. I can actually sort of set out on my own path and maybe bring my gifts to the world in ways that I never really would have thought of before. Actually helps us to hone in our natural talents and our abilities, and again helps us to really love who we are and recognize who we are. And so I'm hoping that along this journey that I'm on, and I'm noticing these things every day, I'm hoping that you guys are noticing some of this too, where you're feeling a little bit more ready than you ever have to start creating what it is that you really want in your life. And I've talked about this before, but I think this was last Christmas that I was actually talking about this, because we were doing red and green candies or red and green Christmas balls into different bags or into different vessels. And it's like the vibration of these Christmas balls, how are we creating what we want, those nice, green balls that are all about growth and are all about that sort of higher vibration. Are we doing things we love? Are we feeling happy most of the time? Or are we feeling kind of constricted and knowing that we're maybe on a bit of a lower vibration? Are we acting out of fear, or are we acting out of love? Are we putting balls in the vessel of love, or are we putting balls in the vessel of fear? Sometimes it's just little thoughts that we have throughout the day, but if we were to put all of our thoughts as a ball into a container, at the end of the day, what would that really look like? When we're talking about raising our vibration, it's all about seeing the clarity of a lot of these things and choosing to let go what no longer serves us and really work towards what is serving us. So with Jupiter, it's a lot about our self-worth and about our gifts, and kind of using these expansive retrogrades that we have to really allow our soul to expand into this beautiful journey that we are embarking upon. And it is a journey. I mean, you never really reach that full enlightenment. It's the enlightenment comes when you have these moments in time where you're really recognizing how beautiful life is, and how you are the creator of your own manifestations, whether it be the way you want it to or not, right? Being conscious of those emotions and of those vibrations. So I looked on my YouTube today. There's like 282 videos of random things all about vibration, and I'm happy to share any of those with you. If there's more that you'd like to learn about, by all means, definitely touch base with me, and I'll make sure that I get you set up with all of the information that you need about shifting your frequency. But tonight, what I want to do is I'm going to go through just a little bit of a daily forecast for the next 4 or 5 days, just so that we kind of understand what this weekend is going to entail, what kind of power we can really tap into and into next week, because it's kind of beautiful. And we're going to go into a meditation tonight that is going to be I like doing a recode. And for those of you that haven't done recode yet, what a recode is basically a meditation type of process that we use to help your subconscious kind of get in line with your conscious and your superconscious mind. So when we talk about conscious creation, it's all about being conscious of your vibration and choosing the end results of what it is that you really want, and really helping all of your parts, all of your personalities, everything sort of get on board and recode any resistance to that, and just allow any of that stuff to simply fall away, to be tagged and treated in the morphogenic field. And it just feels amazing. And afterwards, it's almost like you feel a little bit like a different person. So we're going to go through a meditation where we are going to tap into some spirit guides that are waiting and ready to help us, like they always are. And we're going to go on a little Christmas carol type journey where we visit the past, the present, and the future. And we see some gifts in each of those areas, and just have a beautiful little meditative opportunity of time together, so that we can clear any resistance towards what it is that we really want, and really move in the direction of clarity inside of all this chaos that's been happening. It's really cool because with the 1212 portal, what sort of happened is it's almost like a mirror that can be held up to us. And so in each of these versions, I was meditating on it all week as to what we were going to do this evening. And I honestly had, I feel like a friend visit me who has passed, and was a little bit of a spirit guide, bringing me into some areas. It's kind of like going into different levels of consciousness, when we actually allow our body to just get into receiving mode, and we allow our third eye to open a little bit, and we just play like a child with our imagination. It's amazing what thoughts can come through, and what those little first intentions, those first thoughts that come through, can be so powerful, because it's actually almost like spirit talking to you, right? Like your whole super conscious field is holding all this information, and it allows us to see what it is that we need to see. So we're going to dive into that right away. But it really feels like those parts that we may have seen, especially over these last couple of weeks, those parts that we didn't like about ourselves, that we can actually forgive ourselves for that we can move through that a little bit, and understand that we're not defined by our past. Just because we may have acted a certain way, it truly means that we can change it. And we're seeing these things for a reason. We're seeing it so that we'll have more balance next year, so that those kind of things aren't getting in the way of our manifestations. They're not getting in our way of who we want to be, this life that we want to create, this ease and flow and grace that we are truly ready to become in every way. So today was kind of like a Neptune in alignment with the moon sort of a day, where it's kind of dreamy, and it would have been a really good day to actually do some self-care, as far as, say, it was a massage or a spa day. This would have been kind of the ideal day to do something like that. So I encourage you, even after you're off of this session, to go and either soak your feet in some Epsom salts and some essential oils, or to perhaps have a nice hot bath, do a little bit of grounding, do a little bit of journaling, do a little bit of sort of going inside, understanding this beautiful spiritual soul that you are. It actually, Neptune is really asking you to kind of enjoy all of the seasons of your life, whether right now is kind of like a little bit of a standstilly kind of spot, because things are really going to be moving, especially from January to like April, May next year. It's going to be moving very, very quickly. And this is kind of like this balance phase where things can drift away that aren't really serving a great purpose anymore. We're letting go, we're creating space, and we're letting that light come in, literally naturally elevating our vibration, making it on a higher level altogether, just by creating that space. So today was a really good day to do meditation. So I feel like that's really one of the main reasons that I want to do that with us tonight, so that we can totally get into that flow of Neptune's sort of dreamy, veil lifting energy. And as this weekend comes in, Mercury is actually sort of the closest planet to the sun, and the moon is at its closest approach to the earth too. So you'll feel that sort of calling in again, that meditation, that feeling to actually sort of slow it down a little bit. Physically, we're moving very fast. Physically, there's lots going on. But emotionally, if we can kind of slow down a little bit, especially if we're feeling kind of trapped or weighed down, this is really when we feel like things are out of control. This is where we get to actually tune into how in control we are, how we can actually create a day that we want, a life that we want. This is all up to you. It's all within you. So really look at what's driving your actions. And we're going to do this in the present tense, as in the meditation, so that you can actually really acknowledge exactly how much you are doing for yourself. Sometimes we think we're doing a lot, but it's like, geez, I haven't really stretched or done the exercise I was thinking about, or meditated. Look at that self-care, even how you actually were today. So we're going to look at that a little bit. And it's going to bring us into action a little bit more. I've been talking a lot about the feminine and the masculine. So the masculine type of meditation, where we're just, sitting and doing it all with our mind and being very controlled, whereas feminine meditation is like movement and very uncontrolled and very free. And so this sort of last section of December here is kind of made to break up the procrastination that we've been feeling. We'll actually feel this shift that kind of brings us into the higher vision. So we'll feel like purging and cleaning a little bit more. This is really going to be the theme is going to be like revive, renew, get rid of the things, the physical things. We're going to be purging before the holidays, before Christmas. Really kind of focusing on bringing in the light. So Mercury has only, I guess, another week or so. And this is kind of where we have to keep in mind our inner communication. So you're going to get a lot of detail from what you're thinking if we're paying attention to those thoughts, especially when it comes to other people, especially when it comes to judging, especially when it comes to you're already purging. I love it. That's wonderful. It's happening. Like it's happening on a level where some people are like just purging emails. They're just getting rid of tons of stuff. They're they're just really feeling that purge happening, and this is happening on a physical level as well as an emotional level. So this is, again, to create that balance, right? So meditate however you feel works for you, whether it's feminine meditation, masculine meditation. Just be meditating as much as you can over this weekend. It's really going to sort of help to bring in this clarity around your values, clarity around the things that are really important to you. The sun was super active on Wednesday. We had this major solar flare that happened, and it was almost like people kind of got this surge, so they felt almost electrocuted. It's really wild as far as especially if you're a little bit more intuitive and sensitive, you may have felt this. And it's created a little bit of a discourse in some people's physical bodies. Like inflammation has kind of set in for some people, where all of a sudden they're having issues in their body where they haven't in a long time, or maybe even never had before. Weird things like knee problems, or a hip problem, or a shoulder problem, some things, or even getting sick. Their bodies are trying to kind of purge things. So really pay attention to what's going on in your body. The different areas are all saying different things, right? So depending on what it is, I've gone over that before with you guys too. You can even send you the session that I have that really breaks down all the things in the body and what it is. You know, if it's the head, it can be disconnection to spirit, or headaches can be not allowing certain things. Neck can be being stubborn. Spine, around the spine, can be not supported. Hips are fear. Low back is often finances. Knees are how you're facing out to the world. Feet are where you're going in the world, you know, all sorts of different things. So just depending on what's going on with your body, we can break that down a little bit, but pay attention to that. It's your body trying to purge. I can definitely send that to you, Heather, no problem. Pay attention to that, because it is talking to you. I found even with my sessions over the last couple of days, especially as I was working with people, I would feel like a pain. And this used to happen when I was massaging people in the beginning of the day. Early in the day, I would be feeling weird pains, and I'm like, I wonder who that belongs to. And as I'd work on my patients throughout the day, I'd always figure it out whose it was. But this is happening a lot in my sessions online, where I'm like, I can feel this, you know, this here, or what's going on in the hip. And it's been bang on every time, where I'm actually feeling what's going on in their body. And it really helps us to kind of look at exactly the things that we need to work on, you know, whether it's being a little bit too rigid, looking at things another way. It can be, it's all information, right? So take everything that's going on with you, even if people are acting kind of funny or saying some strange things. Take it all as information to help you grow, to help you flourish, to help you on this journey. It literally is all happening for a reason. And as we move into the end of the weekend, so on Sunday, it's kind of like this reminder that you are right on track. And if you aren't, this is your chance to sort of readdress your focus and really kind of move into, come Monday, where it is that you're going. What is it that you're focused on? We can actually apply our potential. What, you know, we want to be happy. We want to be doing things that make us happy, but are we actually doing these things that are making us happy? How are we having a positive impact on our life and the lives of others? How are we extending our capabilities and our wisdom to be able to do this, right? We have these gifts that that so many people could benefit from, but we often hold ourselves back from sharing these. So we're going to feel a little bit more passionate on Sunday. We're going to kind of feel like, oh, getting back into the driver's seat, like, oh, this is what I love. You know, I just love being able to spread sunshine. That's my thing. Spread unicorns and rainbows, I always say. It just makes me happy. It just lights me up. I just know this is what I'm meant to do. So this is why I am here every weekend and during the week. So come Monday, that inner voice was kind of elevated a little bit, this voice of the soul, right? You've sort of heard what your next steps will be. You're going to get some clarity about some of your next steps, but then it's also going to hold you accountable to actually initializing them, right? Taking that direction and moving in it, and being able to do that in such a beautiful big picture kind of way, like really seeing things on a general scale, not so specific, like I know exactly what to do now, but it's going to be like, you're just going to get some inklings, like, you know, maybe I should just really get my website going. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should just be, I just really need to be drinking water. I really need to get a meal plan. You know, like you're going to have these insights come in according to what's really important to you. And so really listening to those and then integrating them and getting them into your practice. That's going to be the key for Monday, really starting to open your throat chakra a little bit, have some good heart-to-heart type conversations with people. It'll be a good day to start having some of those conversations, maybe some misunderstandings, maybe some cleansing of your living or your working environment, whatever it is. Take on something small, purge it out, make it look nice, make it feel good. Feeling good on the outside will always help you to feel good on the inside. And then as you move into Tuesday, you're only a week away from the full moon and only just a few days until solstice. So it's like this sort of cosmic year end kind of happening, right? And then with all those planets still in retrograde, you're going to be kind of wanting to sort of surge ahead, but these past lessons are just seeking your acknowledgement, seeking your acceptance, seeking your understanding so that you can let it go, so that you can actually be shown some areas that need a little bit of improvement, and actually just it might involve more people than just you, right? Maybe you need to set an example for someone else. Maybe someone else is setting the example for you to be able to actually really see that. This on Monday, you're going to sort of feel how free you really are to make these choices. There's going to be some pretty big life lessons that have been coming up and coming into your field. And so if we can really pay attention to those and understand that the core theme of 2024 is going to be applying this discipline to your life, to really manifesting the energy that you want, to actually being accountable to yourself, feeling that accountability and that persistence and that inspiration to do so just because you really want to. That energy that we've been waiting for to sort of support us is finally coming in, and it's going to feel really good. And as we take some of these positive steps, those opportunities are going to start coming in. So for Wednesday, Thursday, it's almost like unseen places, things that you're opening yourself up to, opportunities, energies that have a chance to actually enter just because you're actually taking some time and doing a little bit of conscious creation, really paying attention to knowing some future plans, and maybe not knowing exactly how they'll come about, but knowing your authenticity and knowing who you really are and what you really stand for is going to be the most powerful lesson going into 2024. It's going to be really huge. There's apparently a big portal that also happens on the 31st to the 1st with numerology and such as well. And whenever we see a portal, it's like a really big opportunity to bring in some newness and to kind of reach that higher state of love. And I often say, are we coming from a place of love, or are we coming from a place of fear? Usually when we're reacting, it's almost always from that place of fear. So knowing some little tricks of the trade that can kind of get you back into that place of love. I love breath work. I love doing a little bit of meditation. I love my essential oils. I'm actually going to get grounded here with some of my Shinrin Yoku, my forest bathing oil, before we go diving into meditation. Just taking a couple minutes sometimes to ground yourself, to just notice where your energy's at, notice how you're feeling, getting ahead of a situation so that you don't have to go back and apologize, so that you don't have to react in a way that doesn't feel authentic to you. And do that forgiveness work, you can actually just kind of stay grounded and get out ahead of it, right? So I think that will bring us into this week's forecast. Sometimes when we know that it's just there's a lot going on, and that if we can just kind of slow it down and embrace this energy that's happening, I feel like it just gives you that opportunity to bring an umbrella out if you know that it's going to be raining, and to also give you that reminder that sometimes we do need to actually just kind of slow down and allow our imagination to do some magic and do some work on the subconscious level to clean and clear things up, clean up that messy mind. It's felt very murky over the last couple of weeks, almost like trudging through mud for some people. And now we're finally getting to a point where it's like you're kind of climbing out of the mud, and then you're just realizing that it was just a mud bath and it was kind of healing, and it's good. We're climbing out. We're moving on. We're creating some great things coming into this next season. So if you guys are up for hopping on into a meditation, I would love to guide us through that right now. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water. And I'll encourage you to just find a comfortable spot, wherever that is for you, whether it's laying down or seated, whether this is replay or live. You are in our morphogenic field, which is just creating this beautiful space of love and safety. And we're going to have you just connecting to your body for a moment, just feeling the sensation of the area of your body that's connected with the earth right now, whether it's the floor, whether it's your back that's laying down, whether it's just your bum sitting on the seat. I want you to just get connected from that place of your body onto the earth and just notice what it feels like to be connected to Mother Earth. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you can feel your breath moving through your whole body as you draw a breath in through your belly. Breathing in through the nose and just expanding your belly, expanding your chest, breathing in as much air as you can and holding it for just a second at the top of that breath before you slowly release and relax every area of your body with each breath out. And again, taking a nice big breath in, maybe even intending to take a nice deep breath. And releasing it, and releasing all your muscles, every area that's touching the ground. Feel that part of your body just start to soften. You feel your whole body start to soften right from the top of your head, like your hair is softening in your scalp and your forehead. And the muscles in your face are softening and starting to relax, as well as your throat and your ears. Feeling your shoulders start to relax, and your arms and your forearms, your hands. And as you connect with your hands and how they feel, I want you to notice if you can feel your blood pumping through your fingers, through your arms, through your wrists and your pulse points. Can you feel the blood actually pumping through your own body? Notice what it feels like to feel your blood pumping through your chest and down into your belly and into your mid belly and your low back. What would it feel like to feel your blood pumping through your glutes and your legs and your hips, your pelvic floor? Noticing it does it all on its own. And that you can maybe feel that pulse moving down your legs and your knees and your calves and your feet. And I want you to imagine now that with every pulse of that blood through those vessels as they dilate and constrict, there's also an energetic pulse that's coming up from the earth, and you can connect with her pulse. It's a little bit slower than what yours is. But imagine roots growing out of your body, or perhaps even little veins that are pulsing, tapping down deep into the Mother Earth's core, into her heart. And as the pulses connect, I want you to feel as though it's almost a pump. It's like a pump that's creating a space for the dense energy to move from your body down directly into her core, where she can absorb any of that dense energy, any of those spots that are settled in your body. You don't even need to know what that dense energy is connected to or what it is. It's just ready to be shifted and pumped out of the body. Notice what it feels like to just be connected to her and have this constant pump pumping through, filtering your whole body, filtering your whole blood system, filtering all your organs and all your body systems, and allowing this exchange to occur, just cleansing, neutralizing, transmuting any dense energy, any old limiting beliefs, any old stories and patterns, any old repetitions of relationships, things that you're ready to let go of. And just set the intention to have a safe and healing space and to let your third eye start to open. Right now, I'd love for you to take your eyes, keep them closed, but roll your eyeballs up towards your forehead, just as though your eyes are closed, but you're looking up. You're looking up towards your forehead, like you're looking into your brain, until you feel your eyelids start to want to flutter a little bit. Just keep looking up until you can feel your eyelids flutter as they stay closed. Take one nice deep breath in again. And as you breathe out, relax and just bring your eyeballs back to a relaxed place with your eyes still closed. As you imagine yourself in a deep green, beautiful forest right now, smelling what a forest would smell like, smelling the trees and the flowers and the moss and the moisture, sensing what it would sound like. What would it sound like in a forest? Would it be quiet? Would you hear trees falling? Would you hear branches? Would you hear a stream? Animals, birds maybe, rustling. Maybe you just hear your footsteps. As you start to walk down a path, you can see a glimmer at the end of this path, like a glass or something shiny. It's like it's sparkling towards you. It's calling you forward. And as you start along this path, I want you to imagine that you have a spirit guide that's walking beside you, giving you comfort, showing you where to go, encouraging and urging you on this path. This path is leading you down to the past. Just as though we were in a Christmas carol and you would be able to visit the ghosts of the past, the present, and the future. We're going to take a walk in this forest today and look at this mirror into the past. Look at this beautiful glass that's shining towards us. And as you start to get closer, you can see that it's a full paneled mirror behind leaves, behind branches. And as you get closer, I want you to just clear that mirror so that you can look freshly in it. And as you do, you see this spirit guide beside you. It may be the first person that came to your mind. Is there someone that's passed that was a strong part of your past that would want to bring you and help keep you safe in this past state? Someone who could help you see how beautiful you were, see what you brought to this earth when you were little, to allow you to see maybe one of your gifts that you had, something that you did. And as you look in the mirror, I want you to see that you can see them beside you. You can't even really see them to just turn around and look, but in this mirror, you see them so clearly. You may not have seen them for a long time. Whoever comes to mind first is the person that's supposed to be with you. People pass on, they become our spirit guides. They bring us on these journeys. These journeys of self-discovery, these journeys of remembrance, these journeys of remembering who we really are. And I want you to see yourself in this mirror. Maybe you were doing something that just created joy in people's lives, made them laugh, made yourself laugh. Imagine one of the happiest times you remember as a child. A gift, a gift of time that you can see right now. Something where you could display your talents, whether it was goofy dancing, whether it was a trick that you knew how to do that was unique to you. Helping us to understand everybody is so different. We have these unique gifts about us. Every single person is completely different. So every single one of us is going to see something different. Did you perform in sports? Did you perform on a stage? Did you nurture? Did you care for animals? Did you heal something or someone? Did you just know what to say or do? Did you make someone laugh, make someone happy? Were you a jokester? Did you sing a lot? What kind of things did you do that just brought light to this world? And just remember that now. You're true who you really, truly, authentically are. And allow the spirit guide to take you on a little journey in this mirror of looking at some of the many things you've done over the years. It may be from when you were really little, maybe now starting to grow a little bit older. What else did you do when you got to be a little bit older, when you really started to realize the impact that you could make on people? What was just special about you? Did you always want to be something or do something? Did you play a certain game that you were always a one character? Just remembering some of this now, and bringing some of this forward in remembrance of who you really are. And allow the spirit guide to walk you through some more moments as you got older and older. Did you stop doing some of these things at a certain time? Did you learn to do certain things even more? Did you gain some insight? If you were visiting the ghost of the Christmas past, what is something that you would be ready to just leave behind? Maybe it's an old story. Maybe it's something you've been holding against yourself for a long time that you now see isn't your fault. And allow the spirit guide to help you nurture that inner child a little bit. What does that inner child need to see or hear? What kind of message would your spirit guide give you as this little inner child? Allow yourself to carry some of these gifts and some of these memories. As you turn around and come back to the fork in the path, before you started going down it, I want you to walk back to the middle, to the present time where you were when you first stepped in to this meditation. And I want you to look at your present situation and notice that this spirit guide is still with you. And there's a mirror right at this fork in the road. It was never there before, but now you're ready to see your present situation. You're ready to expand into the ghost of Christmas present. You're ready to see in your present state, what are some of the gifts that you have right now that you're holding back from the world? Some of the things that you just really enjoy doing. Some of the stories maybe you have around that, how we can't just enjoy what we're doing every day. Perhaps now we're ready to leave some stories behind, to let some stories go about not being allowed to succeed, letting some of these fears hold us back about not being good enough, not knowing enough, not being perfect yet, or not wanting to cause confrontation, not wanting to take anything from anyone else. We're just going to ask that the superconscious tag and treat any of the resistance that's holding us back, any of this buried muck, any of these emotions, that have been coming up and getting in our way, just tagging and treating those, doing a massive change history. And as you look into this mirror, I want you to see how beautiful you are and how far you've come, how much differently you handle things than you used to, how much more in control of your emotions you may be feeling, how much power you really have, how you're perhaps even seeing where it is that you want to go in this world. And allow your spirit guide to show you some of your beautiful gifts that just you have deep inside of you. Allowing the present situation to present itself just as it is, not being judgmental, just understanding that you are in exactly the right time, at exactly the right moment. Everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to. And as you look to the right, you can see one more path. You're tempted to go down it, and there's one more spirit guide that's joining you. It's maybe another person that's passed. Your other spirit guides are still there. This could even be an animal, maybe an ascended master. The first thing that pops into your mind is the absolute right guide for your journey right now. I'm feeling some heat in my hands and knowing that the archangels are coming in right now. As we start to walk down this last path with one more glimmer at the end, we feel a little bit excited because looking at the past and looking at the present is dialing us in to what we want to create in the future. And down deep into this path, you can see this glimmer. You're following it with your spirit guides walking right beside you, feeling so good. Floating almost down this path, you get to this last mirror. I want you to wipe it off, remove any trees or branches so that you can really see it. Notice your spirit guide standing beside you, wanting only the best for you. Imagine now seeing the future, seeing a future version of you, the one that doesn't hold themselves back anymore, the one that speaks their mind with their boundaries, teaches people to respect them, lives in ease and flow, grace, peace, harmony, abundance, love. What is it that you'd really like to create a little bit more of in your life? Is it a little bit more balance? Is it a little bit more joy, happiness, peacefulness, ease? Feel how good that would feel now, and look in this mirror at some of these future gifts you know you could share with people. You know that you could instill in yourself, loving yourself, teaching others to love themselves, teaching those around you, lighting up that path. Feeling good and watching that love just radiate around you in ripples. What would your ideal day look like? What would your ideal body feel like? What would you look like? Would you physically be moving and feeling good? Seeing a smile on your face, feeling peaceful with your shoulders relaxed. Look in this mirror and ask your spirit guides to show you some of the things that would just really create more of a life that you love. What it would look like for you. Where are you? Are you traveling? Are you at the beach? Are you cuddling animals or babies? Are you riding free on a boat or a bicycle or walking? Are you in a garden? Are you picking flowers? What feels good to you? Are you creating programs? Are you creating art? Are you creating music? Are you singing? Something that you just love doing. And ask your spirit guides now to show you some of those things that would really fill your cup, that would really light you up, that do really make you happy. Allow this vision to come from your third eye. I'm just going to ask that the superconscious tag and treat any resistance, any original events that may be keeping us from seeing these true visions of what it is that we want to create. Tagging and treating any of those in the field, doing a massive change history. And feeling your body pumping any of this dense energy, any of these things that you're ready to let go down deep into Mother Earth. Feeling some of these exchanges starting to happen, some discomfort in the body that's moving through, paying attention to what you're feeling and where you're feeling it. Allow some of those thoughts, those beliefs that just don't fit anymore. Doesn't matter if you know what they are. Ask the superconscious to just tag and treat any of those resistances, any of those emotions, and allow them to just go deep down into Mother Earth's core, just as you feel them being pumped out of your body in a very rhythmic motion. As light starts to pour in from above, tagging and treating all of the energy centers, all of the chakras, the crown chakra, the third eye, the throat chakra, really discerning your thoughts, your words, your feelings, what's being spoken both silently and out loud. Tagging and treating the heart chakra, and just imagining that heart chakra starting to expand out into the collective, feet away from your body, just moving and expanding so that people can feel that love coming off of your whole aura in a safe and protected way. And allowing your solar plexus to recalibrate, clear, transmute. And feel what your deepest wishes were. If you had 3 wishes right now that you could make, what would they be? List them in your mind. I just wish could be for world peace. I just wish I could find that partner. I just wish I could fill my purpose. I wish I could, whatever it is, just go ahead and claim and state 3 wishes right now. Right from your gut, right from your soul's desire. Tagging and treating the sacral plexus and the root chakra, all those old familial stories and lines and cords that have been tying us, and just do a massive change history on all of those energy centers and feeling that flush as the new energy can start pumping in and through your body, and the old dense energy is literally just being pumped away. Allowing any density in the hips and the legs, the knees, the feet, any blocked knee chakras or foot chakras. Allowing the earth to simply cleanse and purify every energy system in your body, and tagging and treating all body systems. Musculoskeletal, the nervous system, all the organs, recalibrating them to the way that they should be operating. I apologize, sir. Internet went out very quickly there. There we go. Just stay in that mode for a moment. And really let yourself feel that cleansing and purging. And superconscious, please tag and treat any broken agreements, any other resistance that's floating around in the field that we haven't treated yet today. And allowing all parts and personalities to really see this true future version of ourselves. Bringing all of the levels of consciousness on board. Creating the most amount of balance. Least amount of time takeovers. And doing a massive change history on all the parts. We're going to ground all of this in to the matrix of the universe and into memories and timelines 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to turn around with our spirit guides and we're going to come back to that present moment. And we're going to ask the superconscious and our spirit guides to share with us any action steps that we could be taking this week to truly create this life that we love. To truly create the most amount of happiness and the least amount of pain. And you may hear, just be gentle on yourself, rest, take your time, don't overdo it. And you may just feel these things as you go along in your days where you're getting these insights and these intuition hits that we should really be listening to. And when you're ready, you can come on back and open your eyes. Take a nice receiving breath. I think the biggest thing that I'm feeling in my body right now is in that left-hand side of between the shoulder and the neck. It's kind of like where heart chakra is, where there's a little bit of discomfort and dense energy still. You can imagine the earth's pulse literally drawing any of that dense energy out, almost like a broom that goes through and just sort of sweeps it all up. You can just imagine the earth pumping away any of this dense energy. So I'm going to leave you with prompting you to do a little bit of writing, journaling about maybe some of those gifts, maybe about who it was that you saw. Sometimes those people or those animals, if it was an animal, you can even Google that spirit guide and the animal that may have come up, or a person that was popping into your field. Oh, I'm so glad, Stephanie. I love it. Love it. Be happy to send you lots more anytime if you want. It's my pleasure. I'll shoot you an email so you've got my YouTube channel so you can dig around. And I just hope you guys have such an amazing week. It's going to be very insightful, but there's going to be some really beautiful things coming in Wednesday or Thursday. So stay as clean and clear and focused as you can on allowing those insights to come in. We've been asking, now it's like staying in receiving mode, staying in that receiving mode. And if you need some help staying in that receiving mode, by all means, shoot me a message and I'll throw some sunshine and unicorns and rainbows your way. Perfect, Stephanie, I'll write that down. That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am sending you guys such huge love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. Enjoy. Oh, and get outside. There's a new meteor shower. We had a different meteor shower that was happening last week, the Geminids, and this is the Ursids meteor shower. So it can be really intense. Thursday, once the solstice comes, you might even find that it's kind of hard to sleep. So stay away from caffeine that afternoon and like really support yourself for sleep. But get outside if you can between midnight and dawn. About 10 an hour, our big meteors are going to be falling, kind of where the Little Dipper is. So find the Little Dipper in the sky and you'll see some of those meteors starting to come down. We're having really cool northern lights almost every night where I'm from. There's like some big intense energy happening at night. So get out there and look at the sky. It's super cool. Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. Sorry, my internet knocked out there. I hope that didn't disrupt things too badly. I'm just glad it climbed back on with everybody in there. Good old Mercury retrograde had to go play with us tonight. It wouldn't be a Mercury retrograde meditation if it didn't cut out at least once. Awesome. Mwah. Love you all so much. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you guys all very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.